Greetings, family. Come y'all doing another video, and let's talk about Saneter TV. Okay. All right. Saneter TV, right, has seen its glory days. Saneter TV will never ever again reclaim those times when he had all those people up there. You know, the ones who he made characters, right? He gave them all names and everything to represent how he felt about them, right? Bring this play for you guys. And unfortunately, man, with Saneter, right? When you are limited by your biases, your intellectual prowess will level off and be limited by your biases. You know, at the height of Saneter TV, he had an opportunity to really become a global brand, a national brand, meaning his channel, you know what I'm saying, Saneter House Consciousness, you know what I mean? And he blew the opportunity because his intellectual level was limited by his biases, because he was trying to push his comedic hotep agenda against other people's schools and trains of thoughts. And that's where he messed up at, you know. And the fact that he interjected his personal feelings and thoughts in regards to other people's beliefs and patterns of how they wanted to get to where they wanted to be as black people, right? You know, and that automatically limited him. Because on one hand, he's talking about Christians and Muslims and whoever else. Then on the next hand, whatever, he's, you know what I'm saying, dealing with them, associating with them, you know, building with them, whatever, speaking kindly of them in their presence, whatever, with some of them. And then he'll go right back to being, you know, Frankie Gary, whatever his name is, right? So, you know, he limited himself with his biasness, you know, because if he had been like a real, like, you know, platform, whereas he did not interject or try to promote his propaganda, did not try to elevate his people who he was with above other people, and been unbiased and balanced and been a real mediator, man, yo, it would have shot through the stratosphere. If he had not protected people when they were wrong, or we were doing things against people on his platform or whatever, he would have been in the stratosphere. You know, but when you look at him, he's all over the place, you know, with his message or whatever. You know, but people still, I guess people know they like him or whatever, they have history with him and stuff like that, you know. But I can never support someone that can say they're conscious and then still use the word in so frequently, so callously, you know, like it's just a matter of fact, right? And then get up there and talk to people like that, you know, like it's cool, you know, because I could never be on this platform and he'd be like, in, like, hold on, bro. Stop calling me that. You know what I'm saying? You know, you know where that word comes from. You know the history of that word somewhat by people who have taught you and stuff like that. You know, why you still using this word and still cussing and fussing and, you know, women who you don't like talking about them and stuff like that on a public platform? You supposed to represent consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Or are you just conning us? You know what I'm saying? Because it's funny that he changed the word, you know, the spelling of it from the C to a K. You know what I'm saying? Are you just conning us under consciousness? You know what I'm saying? And as I always have said, what are you conscious of? That's very ambiguous. Are you conscious of how to hustle people? You know, are you conscious of how to play both sides of the field? You know, what are you conscious of? You know, and then you have brothers like Dr. Reggie, right? You know what I'm saying? Or Brother Reggie, as he calls himself, you know. But Dr. Reggie was one of the monikers that Saneter gave him, right? And Dr. Reggie, you know, Brother Reggie, you know what I'm saying, I think he's, as everybody says, he's a great researcher or whatever. He's heavily in depth into, you know, the comedic studies, you know, but he still has, Saneter still has a tight hold on him. And he has no respect for him, you know, and stuff like that. But how he treats him on his platform, you know. And Reggie knows it, but Reggie still continues to go up there. I guess that's his outlet to get to masses of people and be able to talk about the information that he's really studying and that he's really into. But it's really, Saneter TV is really for the pseudo people. It's not really for people who are into the real studies of African culture. It's not. It's a place for, you know, comedy It's a place for just back and forth banter, but it's not a place where people go to really. I mean, don't get me wrong, you will get some information off of there, whatever, right? But it's not. It's more, attacks on people's, personalities and stuff like that. They're really about the information and stuff, And when he was at his height, it all fell apart, and that's probably thanks to Polite moving on and doing bigger and better things, and he tried to groom, young Pharaoh to be the next Polite, but young Pharaoh wasn't willing to fall underneath him and build, keep Saneter TV going on the level that it was until he was able probably to do it Polite. So young Pharaoh said, hey, I can go up here, I can go off here and just do my own Polite thing or whatever, because really Polite really built the house's consciousness. He built Saneter's platform and stuff like that. He was the best orator, the best debater that Saneter had and everything, and that's where Saneter messed up at, because he played, advocate for Polite, you know what I'm saying, and dropping bombs, interrupting other people, saying Polite was right, saying guiding, manipulating the audience's emotions and feelings and stuff like that. Whereas people like myself were watching, like, getting frustrated, like, nah, come on, that's not right, that's not correct. Why are you, as a moderator, mediator, whatever, whatever you want to call yourself on your platform, whatever, taking sides when you're just supposed to be there listening and answering questions or whatever. And yeah, you can correct something if something needs to be correct or whatever, if it's being said and it's wrong or whatever, but you correct it from a unbiased perspective. I've tried to just call in and talk about information, stuff like that, and they didn't want me up there. See what I'm saying? Cause well before Young Pharaoh, what's the other cat named that running with Young Pharaoh that broke from Saneter TV? The dude from I think from Massachusetts, whatever where he was from. I can't think of what his name. General, what's his name? General, whatever his name is. That dude. You know what I'm saying? He'll come to me in a minute, right? Well, General Seti. Way before they were saying that the metadata had not been transcribed or translated, I'd already been saying that. You know what I'm saying? I already been speaking that in earlier videos that I don't have up right now, right? And I even called in to his channel. I spoke with Brother Reggie, I think of Brother Sanjetti. I was saying, bro, the metadata has not been fully translated yet, has not been fully transcribed yet, whatever, right? And during the course of our build, I was referencing the Rosetta Stone, which was one of the precursors, whatever, to understand what was on those walls and things of that nature, right? He cut the build off. I can say that way before all this discussion debate about the metadata, because I knew it. I knew it, And Brother Sanjay had referenced Iraq, right? And they had this library called the Hall of Wisdom, where he was saying that there were people and there were books, whatever, to help them to describe, to decipher, the metadata or the writings on the wall, right, in Egypt, Kemet. And before I can get into that, is that hall that he's referencing, that hall was destroyed by the Mongols when the Mongols invaded Iraq because they would not surrender. See what I'm saying? And they took and destroyed and threw all the books away into the river and burnt it. There's a story that said they threw so many books in the river that it turned the river black for all the ink that was in the book. That's just a story, but the Hall of Wisdom was burnt down, and all the information destroyed. Right. So, man, I've been around a long time, man. If you look at my other videos, my intro, whatever, you'll see, me in my earlier years, whether as a teenager, back like in the early '90s, late '80s, whatever, represent the culture and stuff like that. So I definitely embody it, but I don't really show it on the outside with the dress and got my chain on and everything, with my Arabic calligraphy, right? And I say that is just as much a part of our history as anything else is, right? When you start looking at everything, you start to learn and understand. It's just like with Northern Africa, You have a lot of groups coming into what they call the Middle East or whatever, right? Or the Levant. The Greeks, the Romans, see what I'm saying, settling, mixing with the people, whatever. So you really think that Africa was just limited to the continent of Africa? They weren't, in the Levant, they weren't in, Mesopotamia, that they weren't in areas of Saudi Arabia, whatever, Libya. See what I'm saying? So you just can't say, okay, well, none of these groups that that were founders of Islam and followers of early Islam did not look like us. A lot of them did look like us, and they weren't all slaves either, And that's my contention and everything, So they really take and try to deal with that with the broad brush, and that's not correct, Because you have a lot of different ethnic groups, or whatever. We talk about the timeline of Islam, but that's another topic. I'm gonna be getting into that as well in some future videos or whatever. But yeah, man, Saneter, man, he may be able to reclaim his once former glory, whatever, if he just stops being biased. Start letting people go up there and represent what they represent, and then let the people decide who won or who they sided with, and stop trying to make the playing field slanted towards one person over other person and stuff like that. Just like he's looking like just like what it is, because Jabari is keeping Saneter TV afloat. See what I'm saying? But a lot of people who helped build Saneter TV, such as the Shakas and the Reggies and whoever else may feel a certain kind of way, like, hey, we built this platform, even though he's helping keeping it afloat. We are the founders of it, along with yourself. Without us, you would have no Saneter TV, House of Consciousness. So and I just wanted to put that out there, man. So him being like a path to the conscious path or whatever, I don't think so. So that's my thoughts on him. I just wanted to put that out there, man, because his information or whatever, and how he represents himself or whatever, and people who he speaks about, our predecessors, whatever, he's not embodying them. See what I'm saying? Because he has no respect for our culture. And our culture is a mixture of cultures. You know what I'm saying? Because no one group is all the same. So peace and love. Talk to y'all later. All right.